Assalamu alaikum. I'm Mufassir Ahmad Chaudhary and today I'll talk about money. I'll discuss about money, its evolution, and the functions of money and the process of money creation. Since the beginning of the civilization, people wanted to trade. When there were no currencies, they used to trade what service or good they had with the person who had the good or service the first person wanted. This was called barter system. But now, both of the person needs to have what the other trader needs, and this is called double coincidence of wants. So many civilizations choose different commodities that has value to everyone and used these commodities as intermediate products to trade with. Carrying commodities was problematic and oftentimes they were not divisible. Like you cannot divide a cow into half. So people started using paper that certifies the holder of having a certain amount of commodity. Soon after, the paper was sufficient for trade because people started believing the paper to have value. Thus, finally, there were no need for any commodities to back up the currency, and it is called fiat currency that we use in the modern world. Money comes in different forms. There's coin and cash that we use every day, but most of the money in the economy is not physical but digital. They are stored in some banks' computers as zeros and ones. Many prisons use cigarettes as a form of currency as they cannot use cash. Nowadays we have Bitcoin that is a different type of digital currency that has no central bank controlling it. Nobel Prize winner economist Milton Friedman puts it in this way. The pieces of green paper have value because everyone thinks they have value. Or we can simply say money is what money does. Now rises the question, what can money do? First of all, money acts as a medium of exchange for trade and business. It can also be used for store of value to put in banks and other institutions for later use. It is also used as a unit to measure how much a good or service is worth. And the fourth is that by law, any person can repay their debt with money. Based on these four functions, we can classify the demands for money. The first and foremost demand for money is for transactions, for buying goods and services from the market. Then comes precautionary demand for using in times of need. Imagine you get sick or get fired from your job and income comes to a halt, but you still need some money to survive. So you store money in advance as a precaution for any upcoming danger. The last demand is for investing in assets or businesses, which is also called speculative demand. People invest the money that they don't currently need in businesses so that they can get profit later on. But how does the money come to your hand in the first place? The usual way of creating money is called fractional reserve banking. For example, an employee gets his wage from his employer. Then he puts some amount of the money in the bank as savings. The bank splits the money and keeps some in reserve and lends the rest to other people. You might ask why it keeps some on reserve. It's because if some clients come back and want some of their money back, the bank must have something to give to them. The amount of money kept in reserve is called required reserve ratio and is fixed by central bank. The bank gives loans to get interest. The receiver of the loan spends it in the market and the money finds its way to another bank. This bank also splits the money and keeps some in reserve and lends the rest to other people. This cycle goes on and on until there are no money left to lend. If we let the initial deposit as $100 and the required reserve ratio as 10%, we get a table like this. We can clearly see that this system created another $900 in deposit, and thus the new total deposit becomes $1,000. This total deposit can be calculated by this equation. One of the tools government used to control money supply is by controlling this ratio. If they put a bigger ratio in place, a small amount of money makes its way to the market. On the other hand, if they reduce it to zero, the economy gets infinite amount of wealth. You might ask, how will the bank survive from bank runs if they lend out all the money? The idea is that the government always print money to save those banks from falling. But whom will they save? There's only one way to know. And thanks for watching.